Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Happy New Year, everybody. This is New Year's Day.
Whee!
And maybe you might want to be thinking about celebrating if you're awake yet. You probably stayed up late last night watching the fireworks at Taipei 101. But, when you get yourself out of bed, you might want to consider, going someplace special with your friends or your, better half, and to take a camera along with you to take some pictures, but maybe you ought to consider bringing a Polaroid camera with you.
Yeah, most of us today are using the cameras that are inside our smartphones, so I was a little surprised when I saw this article. I used to be a big lover of instant cameras. I used to use them for a lot of different things. I didn't even own a real camera. I would just buy instant cameras.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember maybe about 20 years ago, if you didn't have a camera with you, you could buy these disposable cameras at 7-Eleven, but they were film cameras.
Yeah.
And that was before digital cameras kind of took over. And maybe we're sick and tired of seeing digital photographs all over the place with our digital cameras and our smartphones and stuff. Maybe we want to have something a little different, so that's why we're talking about the simple allure of instant cameras. Let's find out what this is all about by reading through our entire article right now one time. Ready, aim, shoot. You snap a photo of your friends and then wait a moment. A blank photo pops out of the front of your camera. Within minutes, the image you took of your friends begins to reveal itself, and you can't take your eyes off its transformation. This is the simple pleasure of using an instant camera. For many years, Polaroid's SX70 camera was the only game in town when it came to taking quick and easy photos. The very name Polaroid became a synonym for instant photos for many people. Polaroid had been making instant photo cameras since 1947, but they were always challenging to use. However, in 1972, the company introduced the SX70, a manual focus instant camera that automatically ejected photographs. The camera was collapsible, which made it easy to store and carry. Early Polaroid films could also be pressed right after they developed. This distorted the image and made it look like an impressionistic painting. Polaroid stopped making the SX70 in 1981, but continued making instant cameras until the 2000s. These days, however, the most popular instant camera is Fujifilm's Instax Mini 8. Although the photos it takes are smaller than Polaroid photos, the cameras are much cheaper and more widely available. Instax cameras even have film and camera bodies adorned with characters such as Hello Kitty, Minnie Mouse, and the Line Friends. For someone who is used to taking digital photos with a smartphone or digital camera, instant cameras might seem inconvenient. After all, you have to buy film, and you can't just automatically upload them to social media. Yet anyone who's ever seen an instant photo develop before their eyes knows why these nostalgic cameras appeal to so many fans.
Okay, let's start off by looking at the title of the article here. The simple allure of instant cameras. When you talk about something's allure, and that's a noun, guys, you're talking about the quality of being really attractive to somebody. It has a lot of power to draw you in. It fascinates you. And we're saying that some of these instant cameras, one in particular, actually, is really attractive to a lot of people out there these days. So instant cameras are cameras that not only take the photo, by clicking the button, but it just instantly produces a picture in front of your eyes. So it develops while you're looking at it. It's kind of cool.
That's why it's called an instant camera. Instant just means something that happens right away. Of course, here in Taiwan, if you don't have time to go to a restaurant, you can just have some instant noodles.
Oh, yeah.
Pao mian, and you can fill yourself up, although I understand they're not terribly good for you.
That's why I like them, Tom.
True. Things that aren't good for you are the best things to eat, aren't they?
Tastiest, yes.
Indeed. But again, we're talking about what happens when you take a picture. Ready, aim, shoot. You might say that if you're maybe shooting a gun, ready, aim, fire.
Right.
Or if you start a race, you're ready, get set, go. But here you're going to snap a photo of your friends and then you wait a moment. Snap. You could snap your fingers like that, but also we talk about a quick picture. When you click the shutter, it makes a snap sound like that. And you can snap your finger, as I said. Snap also can be a noun. I think they use that term in England more, like casual photographs, snaps,
Snapshots.
Snapshots. I think they shorten it to snaps in England. We say snapshots.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard snaps.
Yeah, I've heard that before. It sounded weird to my American ears. But yeah, we say snapshots, just casual photos of your friends and stuff like that. And then you wait a moment and slowly, I think it takes about 2 or 3 minutes, a blank photo pops out of the front of your camera. Well, actually, the developing process takes 2 or 3 minutes, but here the camera immediately ejects the photograph from the camera, and then you wait for it to develop. So it pops out of the front of your camera. My goodness, I'm full of sound effects today.
Lots of sound effects, yeah.
I guess it helps in the explanation and keeps our students awake. But in any case, yes, it immediately comes out of the front of the camera.
So within minutes, doesn't take very long, the image you took of your friends begins to reveal itself. If something is revealed, something that was previously unknown or someone hadn't seen it before suddenly is right there in front of their eyes. So it reveals itself by slowly developing on that little page or on that little photo. It's kind of cool. And you can't take your eyes off its transformation. When something transforms, we call it a transformation when something transforms. So what it does is it goes through some different changes in either form or appearance. Sometimes somebody will get a makeover, which means they get their hair cut and maybe somebody does their makeup for them and they look really beautiful. And we call that, a magical transformation, especially if there's someone who'd never, actually took a lot of time with their appearance.
Indeed. For example, I could say, Neihu used to be a very rural area, but Neihu has gone through a drastic transformation in the past 20 years.
So true.
Now there are nothing but big high-rise apartments and commercial buildings and stuff like that. No rice paddies to be seen. But here, yes, we're talking about the transformation from a blank image to images of your friends there. Well, this is the simple pleasure of using an instant camera. Now, let's talk about a specific instant camera that was popular in the United States during the 70s and maybe into the 80s a little bit. For many years, Polaroid's SX70 camera was the only game in town when it came to taking quick and easy photos. Yes, I kind of vaguely remember when those cameras came out. The ones before that required that you pull the film out after you take each picture.
Oh, that's the one we had, yeah.
Yeah, you take the picture and then you have to actually pull it out of the camera, and then you take the paper off it or something like that,
right.
And you wait for the image to reveal itself. But this one immediately popped out that photo from the camera. It was really cool. It was the only game in town, which means it was like the only camera that could do this.
Yeah, if you are the only store in Taipei that sells, let's say, chocolate donuts, then we could say, you're the only game in town. So you're the only one of your kind doing something. So it's kind of cool if you're the only one or if you're the only product that exists that does something, because you can make a lot of sales that way. A lot of people will buy what you have to sell. Now, the very name Polaroid, that's the name of the company, that's the brand name, became a synonym for instant photos for many people. A synonym is a word that is closely related to another word. For example, we could say we're going to snap a photograph. We're going to photograph something. Snap and photograph are similar. Can you think of some better synonyms right off the top of your head there, Tom?
Well, you could say lunch and, supper and dinner. Those are synonyms. They're different words, but they basically refer to the meal that you have late in the day. Those are synonyms. So, yes, indeed, Polaroid became a synonym for instant photos. If you wanted to take an instant photo and you didn't want to take the film down to the pharmacy pharmacy and have it developed and wait a day or something, you would just get an instant photo and you would use a Polaroid camera. If somebody showed you a picture, it's, oh, that's a Polaroid picture. You took that with a Polaroid camera, even though they're probably with other brands.
Yeah, if a company is really famous for having invented something, sometimes we'll continue to use that company's name, even though we're using a product with a different brand name. For example, when I was working in the office in New York, we would say, hey, can you Xerox this for me? Instead of saying, can you copy this for me? Because Xerox was the first company to come up with a copy machine. So we do some of that. Or, hey, can you Google this? You might not even use Google as a search engine, right? You might be using Bing or something, but we all say
Bing
Google.
That much, yeah.
I don't like it. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, a certain search engine has taken over my computer, and I can't figure out how to get rid of it. I don't want to say what it is, but I might get in trouble, but I want my Google back. If you write in information on the top window there, it always uses this other search engine, and I don't know how to set it back, but that is another problem. But again, they had been making instant photo cameras since 1947, but they were always challenging to use. But in 1972, Polaroid introduced the SX70, a manual focus instant camera that automatically ejected photographs. Okay, manual focus means you focus it yourself. Most cameras these days are autofocus or automatic focus. Focus means you make it clearer, right? If you get close to the subject, you got to move the lens. If you're taking a picture of a mountain, the lens has to change, but most cameras do that automatically. Manual means you do it yourself. And a lot of people like to have that control of manual focus because you can choose what to focus on, especially if you're using a camera with a very large aperture, which I'll get to later.
True. So what happens is these manual cameras automatically would eject photographs. If you eject something, usually it's something that is forcibly put out or thrown out. Here, it just automatically just pops out of your camera. It's ejected by some piece of machinery inside that camera. It knows that it just took a photo, and now that photo needs to come out of the machine. So the camera was also collapsible. If you collapse, you fall down. You're no longer upright at all. Sometimes we have to tear down buildings to build new buildings, and they'll use dynamite or blow up the building, and then they'll collapse. Or maybe you've had a really hard day and you just don't have any energy and you just want to collapse, which means you just fall down to the ground.
Right. Lots of products are collapsible. They just kind of fold into themselves so that they are smaller.
Right?
I guess,
bicycle?
Yes. Folding bicycles or collapsible bicycles.
Yeah.
Yes, they can kind of fold. My bike actually doesn't do that, but some other ones do. But again, this particular camera would eject those photographs, and it was collapsible, and that made it easy to store and carry. And that was pretty cool, too. If you collapse the camera, it was kind of flat, and then you could open it up, and it looked kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a barn or something. It was kind of cool. But in any case, that brings us to the midway point in our lesson for today. We're going to stop talking now and turn things over to our Chinese teacher.
Hi everyone, my name's Jenny. 今天我们要看的是第一单元，我们来谈谈照相。大家可能都习惯用数位相机，可是传统呢要用底片然后拍照，这样的经验可能对你来说反而是比较陌生的。但是我们要来看一看这个复古风。首先第一段里面就提到照相的过程。那一张照片如果出来，然后照完马上就有那张相片浮现在你眼前，而不是数位的档案，那这个乐趣其实就是我们今天的主题，因为我们要谈Instant cameras， 我们中文可以说是拍立得，也就是马上拍，然后相片就马上出来。这种的乐趣其实呢，也是为什么这种相机到现在为止大家还有在用。所以呢，第二段就告诉你，这个拍立得相机啊，其实它的型号，他说是 SX70 这个型号那它有一个牌子叫做宝丽来。那Polaroid 这个牌子后来在生产这个相机的上面，当然已经被别的相机给赶上了。可是对很多人来说，提到了 Polaroid 这个相机其实还是等于是拍立得的同义字。那除此之外， 这里有一个句型也要看一下，就是在前面呢提到说这个 camera 它是 when it came to taking quick and easy photos。 好，这个地方有一个 when it came to， 一提到一谈到一说到什么，好，一说到宝丽来这个名称其实就是等于是唯一能够做到这样子功能的相机了。那 when it came to 的 to 要记得是一个介系词，所以后面的动作要变成加上 ing， 这就是为什么这里是 taken。 还有另外一个重点呢，再往下面我们再读，他说到了 Polaroid had been making instant photo cameras since 1947。 这边我们晓得时间上从1947年开始，通常你有一个 since 加一个时间过去时间点，你在主要动词的时态会想要用的是现在完成式。不过这个地方呢，它是过去完成，而且还是过去完成进行 had been making。 好，当然这就表示说这边提到从1947年，那在这里的截止点不是现在而是过去，因为它历史并不是到这边就结束，它后面还有继续在讲，那所以时间上变成是在截止在过去，因此用的是过去完成，至少在那个时候还一直在做这种拍立得相机。好，那再往后呢，下面又继续介绍说，后来拍立得相机呢就被别的机型给取代了。在今天来看，后来它取代的就是1972年它所出产的 SX70。 那这款的相机他说它是 collapsible， 也就是可以折叠的。好，那这一点呢，看到逗点后面接着是 which made it easy to store and carry。 好，我们知道逗点后面再加 which 这个关系代名词，这就是非限定用法咯。那这个非限定用法里头的 which 在这边取代的其实就是逗点前整件事情，说这个相机它是可以折叠式的，这一点让你很方便带来带去，而且很方便保存。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. We're going to continue talking about instant cameras. You might have thought that those cameras would have gone the way of the dinosaur with digital cameras. Now you can take a picture and see it right away. The attraction or the allure to instant cameras was you could see the picture fairly soon after you took it. Back in the old days, of course, cameras used film, and you'd have to take it down and have it developed, and you would have to wait a while. This gave you the opportunity to see it right away, but hey, you can do that with your smartphone and your digital camera now. Why would someone want a camera like this? Well, we'll continue talking about the attraction or the appeal of these cameras now. It says here, early Polaroid films could also be pressed right after they developed. Okay, so we did talk about the fact that the SX70 by Polaroid would automatically eject the photograph right after you took it. You could wait a couple of minutes to see the picture. And then, according to this here, it says you could press it. I guess that means you could press or kind of push your finger against the surface of the picture. And that would kind of distort the image. Here it says this distorted the image and made it look like an impressionistic painting. If you distort something, that means certain parts of something, an image, gets a little bigger, something else gets smaller. It kind of changes. It kind of gets twisted out of shape. For example, a lot of times political cartoonists will draw pictures of, like, say, Ma Ying-jeou or Obama, and they will distort their features. Like Obama has these really big round ears, so they always draw his ears kind of really big and round, okay?
Like Dumbo, the elephant.
Yeah.
You know what? This is kind of like taking your finger and pressing it on a painting that you just painted and the paint's still wet. So it changes what you've actually taken as a photo. It changes the color. So you can kind of mess around with what the colors are on your photo, if that makes any sense. That's what we're talking about here. So it kind of ends up looking like an impressionistic painting. If you know impressionists, you're talking about people like Monet, M-O-N-E-T. He would take his paintbrush and just paint kind of like what it looked like little dots on the canvas. And eventually, if you put all those dots together, it would turn into some beautiful painting of flowers or lilies, for example. He's famous for that painting. I had several with the lilies, actually. So it's kind of fun. You're taking a photograph and you're pressing on it with your fingers and kind of changing it, distorting it, and it's kind of a piece of artwork after that.
It certainly is, and I'm imagining that someone out there has developed an app that can do that on your smartphone.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them.
But still, I think it might be kind of interesting to actually see it for real and not sort of, recreated in a smartphone. But
to really touch it, yeah.
Yeah, to actually retouch it. Maybe, these smartphones have kind of removed us from reality a little bit too much, and maybe some people want to get back to basics here. But let's move on to the next paragraph. Here it says, Polaroid stopped making the SX70 way back in 1981, but continued making instant cameras until the 2000s. So that particular model was stopped in 1981, but Polaroid kept making other instant cameras until the 2000s when digital photography kind of took over, and then they stopped making cameras altogether.
Now, these days, the most popular instant camera is Fujifilm. That's a Japanese brand. Fujifilm is making this camera called Instax. That's an interesting name. Instax Mini 8. Although the photos that it takes are really kind of small. They're really kind of tiny. Much smaller than the Polaroid photos that we used to have. The cameras are really cheap, and you can get them just about anywhere. When you see something that says they're widely available, it means it's not hard to find them. You can just pop into any store and pick one up.
Available is a tough word. It just means you can get to it, you have access to it, or it means you're free too. Like, are you available tomorrow at 2 o'clock? Let's get together for afternoon tea, for example. But here it goes on to talk about the Instax cameras by Fujifilm. They even have film and camera bodies adorned with characters such as Hello Kitty, Minnie Mouse, and the Line Friends. And I would certainly like to see one with Bad Batsmaru, that penguin, also by Sanrio. But in this sentence, we have adorned. That's the past tense of the verb to adorn, which means you just make something more beautiful, more attractive by putting things on it. A woman will adorn herself with earrings and other kinds of jewelry to make herself more attractive.
That's right. And of course, as you know, these characters are quite popular. Hello Kitty, Minnie Mouse, and the Line Friends. There's a mall that I go to over by 101. It's called Breeze Center. And they have, on the second floor, I think they have all of these line characters that are real. And kids love to stand by them and get their photos taken.
Ooh, sounds like fun. Yeah. Indeed. I wish there was a place that had Bad Batsmaru. I'd go there in a second. Well, let's move on now to the final paragraph. It says, for someone who is used to taking digital photos with a smartphone or digital camera, instant cameras might seem inconvenient. Yes, most people nowadays use digital cameras. Digital just means having to do with numbers, zeros and ones. Basically, we say digital cameras as opposed to film cameras, which are still kind of around. You see people carrying them sometimes. But film is kind of hard to find these days, and it's more expensive.
They've even talked about how it's more beautiful if you use film for movies, real film.
Yeah, I think they still actually make movies with film and then convert it to digital later. But yeah, if you're using your smartphone or a digital camera, you might think, oh, that's too inconvenient. After all, you have to buy film, and you can't just automatically upload them to social media.
Ooh.
I think technically it's not really film. Film is like some kind of plastic transparent thing that you put in your camera. You take a picture, and then a photograph is made from that negative. But film here, I guess, is the word they're using for stuff you put in these instant cameras, even though it's just pictures. But yeah, it's also inconvenient because you can't automatically upload those pictures to social media. You could, you'd have to scan it or something, or
take a picture of it.
Take a picture of it and then post that. It can be done, but that's not as convenient. And nowadays, of course, everybody likes to post those pictures immediately to social media.
So after all, and this is why you have to buy film. And like Tom said, you can't just automatically upload them. I love it when you take a picture with your digital camera, with your smartphone, and if you then go to Instagram or Facebook, you're automatically reminded that you just took some pictures, and that program asks you if you want to post anything. So it's getting too easy. Well, anyone who's ever seen an instant photo develop before their eyes knows why these nostalgic cameras appeal to so many fans. Yep, it was kind of fun. Every time I see one of those Polaroids, it takes me back to the time when I was growing up and my mom had one of those Polaroid cameras and she'd want to snap a quick picture and we'd all stand around waiting for it to develop. Usually takes about 3 to 5 minutes for it to fully develop. Nostalgic is a word that just reminds you of good times in the past, not sad times. Usually they're good memories that come back to you based on a song that you hear or some sort of food that you eat. It reminds you of home and times when you were just a child.
Indeed, you might get nostalgic if you go to some old restaurant that has lots of stuff from the 1970s or 1980s or something. Oh, I'm feeling nostalgic now. It reminds me of my childhood. And cameras, of course, appeal to lots of fans. If something appeals to you, it's something that you'd like to participate in or be involved in. Of course, smartphones appeal to young people all over the place. They just love them. Okay, well, maybe if you get some instant photos, you can send them to us and show us what you look like. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Here comes our Chinese teacher.
我们继续来看这篇文章。那提到拍立得相机的发展史，各位可能会觉得这有一点点怀旧。不过我们说到它后来出产的这个机型呢，其实还不错。而且他还说，早先的时候呢，这个它出来的底片啊，如果它在还没显影之前，你还可以在上面做推压。好，那我们看看这边有一个动词是 develop 在英文上比较常用它来当发展。可是如果仔细看，当你谈相机，这个跟相机的底片冲洗有关，所以我们说洗相片其实用的是 develop 这个动词。那这段历史到这里为止好像还 OK， 可是到了1981年，宝丽来呢就不再生产这个 SX70 了，而我们今天比较习惯的、比较常用的，反而是另外一家公司，是富士公司出产的 Instax Mini 8。那谈到这一家公司，他们的相机款型现在呢价钱也低，而且大家都能买得到而且说它的相机，它的底片还可以装饰各种人物的角色。那我们看到这个字装饰adorn， 它是装饰在机身上面。那提到 adorn， 它为了要把它变成分词构句，它改成了过去分词。为什么要用过去分词呢？当然是因为我们在 bodies 后面是等于说 bodies which are adorned with characters， 所以当你把它省略简化之后，就变成了过去分词了。最后这一段我们再提到，现在习惯用智慧型手机或数位相机来拍相片的人来说呢，拍立得其实好像不太方便。好咯，这里有个片语，习惯于 is used to 后面的 taken， 注意到这是动名词。当然习惯于这个片语这里的 to 是介系词，这也就是为什么你必须写 taking。 不过要留意的是，有另外一个片语跟它很像，就是 used to， 没有 be 动词哦。 used to 这是一个动词片语，它后面的 to 是不定词的 to， 你必须要接原形动词。那解释上呢，它就是指你一个人或一件事情过去一向怎么样，这两个要特别区分清楚。我们今天节目就到这里为止，下次见。
That's all from us here today. Happy New Year, everybody. And please make sure you join us again for our program next time. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.